Hi everyone, welcome back to mypaperpassion.com. This is Gabrielle and today we're going to be making another thank you note, and this note is going to go along with the rest of the cards that we've made in this series using our handmade holiday collection from Simple Stories. And the card that we're going to be making today is one that is going to be very easy for you to put together. I am going to be using a Silhouette Cameo cut file, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, as I said, the card that we're going to be creating today is a Cameo cut file, and I'll put the file number at the bottom of the screen. It is the Lori Whitlock Belly Band Bracket card, and I'm going to first start off by showing you the pieces that will come with the cut file. The first piece that you're going to get is the base of the card, and this card this cardstock measures 8.5 by 5.5, and it also comes pre-scored, so when you cut it out there'll be score lines, perforated lines here and here, so that'll make it easy for you to fold the card and you don't have to worry about scoring it yourself. The second piece that comes with the card is our side panel here, and I'll put the measurements for this piece at the bottom of the screen as well, and I believe it measures 5.25 by 2.60, and I always use the specific exact measurements when I'm describing the Silhouette Cameo files, because when you cut the silhouette, those exact measurements are there on the screen for you. The second piece is our second side panel. It's a smaller panel, and this piece measures 5.25 by 1.150. Now I will show you what I did for both of these panels here. I did cut out a background or layered piece to go behind each of the panels just to give the card more dimension. And for this piece here, I use this shimmery brown cardstock by Recollections, and this piece measures 5.355 by 2.705, and then this piece that goes behind the smaller piece here measures 5.355 by 1.255. And so if you know me and you followed me, you know that I like to do layers when I'm creating cards just to add more interest to the card. And then also coming with the set is your belly band. This belly band is going to be this piece that wraps around the front of the card here. So this piece you'll get with the file, as well as the top piece where I just stamped my sentiment on. So let's go ahead and get started putting the card together. And I'm going to first start off by putting my panels on the base of the card. So I'm going to first adhere these two layers together using my ATG gun. Now what I'm going to do is close up my card so you can see how easy it is. So I'm just going to simply fold this like that, and you see I really didn't have to do any scoring at all, but I am going to use my bone folder just to make sure that it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to flip it over and do my other panel same way. It folded very quick, so it looks like that. And then now the one thing that I'm going to do here before I adhere my my belly band is I'm going to take a look at the inside of my card. So let's take a look at that. Okay, for the inside of my card, what I decided to do was to create another layer using the same papers that are going to be featured on the outside of the card for the inside. So I'm using this shimmer brown paper from Recollections, and I picked this up at Michael's last year. It came in a stack of 50 sheets, and most of the sheets had this shimmer to it and some of the holiday colors. So I don't know if they still have it there this year, but I'm going to use this for my inside layer to my card. So I'm just going to bring my base back over, so it's going to sit right here in the inside, and then on top of that I'm going to put a cream piece, and this is where I would write my sentiments in. So this piece here that we're going to be using, the shimmer piece for the inside, measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So I'm going to first adhere that to the inside. And then now this piece that I'm going to put in, this cream cardstock here, measures 5 by 3 1/4. And before I put this piece in, I'm going to actually do some inking around the edges of this just to give it a more a softer look to it. And so I'm going to be using my Tim Holtz Distress ink, and this is the Antique Linen Distress ink, and I'm just going to be inking the edges. I'm just using a simple makeup sponge, and I just picked this up at my local grocery store in the makeup section, and you can get a pack of these for I think $2 or $3, and it usually comes with about 20 in the pack, so it's very inexpensive. It's just an easy way to ink your cards. So I'm going to start in my corner, and what I typically like to do when I'm inking is I like to come in a little bit further, and the corners here I like to make it a little bit darker, and I like to come in a little bit more. And then around the edges, I don't come in as far in the edges. And then I also like to start off with kind of a light layer, because sometimes with the distress inks, it can kind of become a little bit overpowering sometimes with some of the ink colors. This one is a very light ink, so I don't have to worry about that too much. But I still like to do a light layer first, and then if I need to add more, I usually go and do that afterward. Now that I've inked it, this is what it looks like. And now I'm just going to adhere it on top of this piece here. Okay, so that's the first part of the inside of our card. Now, I'd still like to do a little bit more with the inside of my card. One of the questions that I often get is, what do you do with the inside? Once you decorate your outside, what do you do? And one thing that I typically like to do with my inside is coordinate something from the outside. I like to bring an element from the outside into the inside of the card so that it coordinates really well with the card. And so for this card, what I'm going to be doing is taking a piece of this green pattern paper here from the outside, and I've cut this piece here, and it's cut at 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. And what I'm going to do before I adhere it to the bottom of this, I'm actually going to be punching it out, and I'm going to be using one of my Fiskars punches. I'm not sure what the name of this punch is, but it has a scallop borders here, so I'm going to be using that to just punch out this card here. So typically when I'm punching, I usually flip my punch over so that I can see exactly where my paper is lined up, and then I line it up, the edge of the paper with the edge of the stamp here in the corner, and it's just easier for me to see where exactly I'm punching, to make sure that everything is lined up and I don't have any overlapping punchings. So I'm punch that piece out, and then I'm just sliding it in. I'm just going to slide the card over all the way to where our last punch ended there. And then I'm just going to punch like that. And then again, this way I make sure that I don't have any overlapping punches. So now what I'm going to do is just take my ATG gun and adhere this to the bottom like that. Now the last thing that we're going to do is work on our belly band here. Now again, the cut file came with the belly band and the coordinating piece, and what I've done ahead of time is I took this piece that that came with a file here, and I already stamped it using my Stampin' Up. This stamp is called Elegant Thank You, and I don't know if Stampin' Up carries this stamp any longer, but I purchased it a couple of years ago. I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I purchased it a couple of years ago. So I just stamped this onto this piece, and I used Stays On Saddle Brown ink for this, and so I just stamped it right onto this cream cardstock. Now, one thing that I did notice with this cardstock is, again, it's kind of stark. So what I'd like to do is use my Distress inks once again, the same ink that I used to ink the edges of the inside piece. I'm just going to use this antique linen to just go around the edges of this sentiment piece here, just to give it a softer feel. And I'm telling you, just a little bit of ink does wonders I mean, it just already looks so much softer. So now that I've inked that, I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my belly band. Okay, and then we're almost on to our last step. The belly band, when you cut it out, is just like the card. It already comes pre-scored for you, so I'm just going to bend that over like that, and you see how quickly it folded over. And so, oh, one step that I forgot. One thing that I do want to add to our belly band our pearls that we added on this card here. And I'm just using Recollection pearls from Michaels. And I'm going to take just these two round, larger pearls here on the side. And I'm just going to add those to the front of our sentiment, just to add a little bit more detail to the card. So now you have your pearls there. It adds a little bit more to the card. You have your inked edge there. And then the last piece is to simply wrap your band around your card. And now I'm not going to do this on the video because I need to actually write my sentiment in, because I'm going to be giving this card to someone. So the last thing that you would do is simply fold your belly band over and around, and then you can just attach it with your ATG gun. Okay, that's our card for today. For more ideas and inspiration, please visit my blog at mypaperpassion.com, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.